Nick Robinson here for Polygon, and today I am joined by two fellows who I think have a bit of a history together.
Certainly, yes.
We got Steve Mayles, who is the character art director on Yooka-Laylee, and Grant Kirkhope, a legendary video game composer who is also...
That's probably stretching it slightly, but I do compose.
How come I didn't get a legend?
You're not legendary.
No, you're not legendary.
I should just preemptively put that in front of everyone's names, just so everyone feels like they're on. Everyone gets a gold star.
Veteran video
veteran.
Composer.
That kind of makes you sound.
Yeah.
Steve's got a veteran. Yes, Steve's a veteran.
So I just got to look at Yooka-Laylee being played in front of me for the first time in my life, and it feels like the promise we were all sold on is there. Like, it's exactly what y'all said you were going to make, and that comes down to just the look, the sound, even stuff like the font, but also like the character design and the music. Character design and the music.
Speak about the character design.
Yeah, we knew we'd done this sort of thing so many times before, and we knew we could do it. It was just getting the people together to do it, and that's all thanks to Gavin Price. He was really the catalyst for this whole thing. So, what we're doing now, character design.
Yeah, no, I think that, it was a real kind of happy set of fortunate disasters that brought us together, because like some guys got laid off from Rare, some guys left Rare. It was the first time that the core Banjo-Kazooie team could be together again since Banjo-Tooie, really, because it was a complete bizarre thing. So it just felt right, and I guess sometimes things just happen for a reason, right? And it was a perfect thing that we all got together, and we all knew what we were going to make straight away, and let's do that. And everyone agreed. There was no fighting over it.
It's almost like the 15 years between Banjo-Tooie and now haven't happened. It's just like straight into Yooka-Laylee, and that's
my line. I always say that. He stole my line.
I didn't know we had stock lines. I'm sorry.
I invented that line, by the way. So that's
nice,
copyright
though,
G. Kirkhope.
It's like you woke up 15 years later and all the technology is suddenly much better, and you can render these characters that actually look like their concept art, look like the box art. I have to ask, were these character designs that we see in this game, were these ones that have been kicking around in your head for a few years, or when you sat down to make Yooka-Laylee, was it like, I'm starting from
Absolutely not.
here?
I mean, I'd been kind of out of doing these characters for so long because of like the Connect Sports series, so it was just fantastic to get back into, because this is what I love. This is what I do best. So no, it was all fresh. Everything's built fresh from the ground up.
That's awesome.
Well, also, I have to comment on that, of course. We know that Steve never builds anything fresh from the ground up. He just uses the last character and reskins it. This is what I get that in there, so we all realise that.
So this is the Banjo-Kazooie model. You just kind of painted one of them green and one of them purple.
Yeah, that is exactly it. In fact,
that sounds very easy.
Yeah.
Well, video games are really easy to make.
There is nothing reused from any other game. It is all new, all owned by Playtonic.
Right. That's a very important distinction.
And if you believe that, you believe anything.
Well, let's talk about the music then a bit, because the music, again, perhaps a little evocative of some music we've heard in some of your past work, which I think makes sense because you made it. Like, that's the thing that makes this so easy, I think, to swallow. It's very congruous. It feels like it's made by the people who made the originals, because it literally is. When going into the music, how did you look at the original sound fonts and stuff for Banjo-Kazooie, or like?
Not really. I mean, not really. Because back in the day, you had to use such small samples because there's no memory available.
Right.
And now there's lots of memory available, so it's different now. But I mean, I'm still looking at the same basic palette of roughly orchestral instruments.
Yes.
Most of the time, and quite a bit of umpire, like we used to do. And I think that we'd be both very conscious, but the whole company's conscious that it would be easy for us just to kind of go into autopilot and kind of do the same thing all over again.
Right.
And it's really, we're trying super, super hard not to do that. I mean, we are doing that, right? It's because there's no point doing that. It's nice to have those, we've all picked out the bits we think the best from our past work, and brought it up to date to the new stuff. So people are going to get those kind of those warm, tickly things about who it feels nice, like a bit like the old days. Or hey, but that's where hate comes from, of course. But also we're going to add. Hopefully, we're better what we do 15 years later. Steve's a better artist, I'm a better composer. Hopefully, so we're going to bring new stuff to it as well. So, but it's got to have that basic spirit of that kind of happy, smiley, nice game that we all kind of go, oh, it's nice to play it.
After being at the C3, it's actually really refreshing to see a video game with colors in it, for example, like green and red. And I'd almost forgotten what they looked like. And in talking during that demo I just got, something that I think you guys are able to focus on now that the Kickstarter is complete is that Kickstarter was very much like, hey, remember this, we're doing this again. But you guys all have these thoughts on how to modernize it and how to bring it into the future. How does that, as a character designer, how does that work? One of my favorite characters in the character designs I think I've ever seen in my life is Trouser, who, if you've seen him, he is a snake wearing a pair of pants, and the snake is going down one leg of the pants and then coming back up the other with a belt tying it all together. Like, that is such a great, clever animal mascot thing.
You do get the Trouser snake reference, right?
Yeah, of course. Right. Trouser the snake.
No.
We say Trouser serpent.
Oh, right.
We don't say.
Oh, I see. Yes, of course. Yeah. It's perhaps not American. Sorry.
I'm gonna have to give Gavin Price props again for that one, because he came up with the initial idea.
Oh, wow,
on
awesome.
a little post-it note, and then obviously I used my skill to bring it to life. But it is great now that you can use so many polygons, and you can create stuff that, I mean, it's like the jungle now. It reminds me of Tribal Stack Tropics level. It reminds me a little bit of DKC on the SNES, the way it's so lush, and you're starting to get that now in real time, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and also, like, sorry to butt in, but like, I think we've, for us, like, to have what we had last year was like basically a glorified demo that we'd kind of put together, and now we've got like a full-blown game.
Yes.
Like, it just feels so different this year. Like, we're all just kind of going, oh, and like you kind of stand back and go, God, we just made that, and like, it's that point we're all kind of going, it really is pretty great, isn't it? It is weird to kind of, because you always get too close, right? You look at your little bit and you don't know what's going on all around you, and then you just kind of go, oh my God, it's this great big thing now. It's just
real.
Yeah.
It was, for me, the moment was sitting on that couch, seeing the title screen and being like, this game exists.
Right.
It's a playable thing. Something I have to ask you about, Grant,
right.
that I actually didn't realize before today is you were responsible for sort of composing and working with the programmers on the sort of vocal noises that you hear
right.
when a character is talking.
Right.
And this game, as people probably saw in the most recent trailer, this game also uses that style of
voice.
Course. Explain the genesis of that to me and why you decided to bring it back for Yooka-Laylee.
Well, actually, when me and Chris Sutherland, the lead programmer, we were trying to remember how we did it in Banjo, because we kind of forgot, and we're both kind of doing emails going, I'm sure we did that. He says, no, it wasn't that. We're kind of just trying to work out how we did it, like, because we've just forgotten. It's been such a long time. And I think it was just, wanted to get that, obviously you can make it a lot better now, because like with modern technology, you can make it a lot better. Yeah. We thought, it should just sound crappy like the last game, and it should just be a bit like that. And also, funny enough, I was working for somebody else recently, and they were talking about using that kind of voice thing. I was going, why do you want to do that? It was just, we did it because we had no choice, right? And they were like, right. But it's iconic. And like, we say with him the other day, like, it was done out of necessity, not because we wanted to do it. We had no choice.
Yeah, it's one of the things that is deliberately retro about the game. There isn't much else. It's like down to the little character heads that speak. Like, meh, 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 meh. We've done rendered heads like it was in the old days. That's right. Yeah. So it's just a nice link between the two games, and it ties the whole spiritual successor thing together really well.
I don't know how you did it the first time, but there's such a specific cadence to that voice, and it's totally nailed in the demo I played. Like, it feels and sounds and has the rhythm that it originally did.
Yeah, it's something like, right, I think every syllable, I think...
We don't need to get too
no, let's do it. Let's
let's do it, Steve, actually.
World's first in-depth technical...
Yes, Steve,
So
Mayles.
some of the syllables are longer than others, right?
Yeah, but what usually happens is that you'll get a sample will be per syllable, right? But if the next syllable starts before the last one ends, because the human voice can't make more than one noise at once, right? So if the syllable that's playing now gets into the next one, it cuts that one off. Right. So you get that kind of, that's where you get that rhythm thing.
Like truncated.
Yeah, that's where you get that funny rhythm, right? And also, it takes a bit of messing around with it, because like Banjo had not very many samples, but Kazooie had a lot of samples, because some things just felt better than others, right? So, and also when I first did it, because it selects a sample at random and random pitch, and I had this huge random pitch, so it was going, and it sounded shit, right? So we were like, you realise that the human voice hasn't got that big a range when you talk. So
the human voice and the chameleon voice.
Yeah, exactly.
And the bad voice.
Yeah, so you got to keep the kind of, you got to keep the sample range the pitch range quite small. So it took a bit of messing around to get it. Well, I want to say right. It's not really right. It was as good as it got.
I think it's right for this game.
All right, right.
It's right for this game.
Yeah. So there you go, Steve. No, it's not about your characters. They're rubbish.
Well, gentlemen, thank you.
The kindest things, doesn't he? He says the kindest things.
I love Steve.
He's a nice fella. Thank you guys so much for your time. The game looks fantastic.
Anytime.
I cannot wait to get my hands on it.
Awesome.
For more from Polygon at E3, stay tuned to youtube.com/Polygon or Polygon.com proper. We've got all sorts of content going up all throughout the week.
I think it fell over then.
This is Yooka-Laylee.
Da, 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 da.